The 21st century market reality reveals a huge gap between school curricula and marketplace demand. While in school, graduates are expected to acquire relevant knowledge, skills, and attitudes to solve critical problems in the workplace. A staggering figure of 250 million African youths looking for work shows the potential of African economies. In Nigeria, future problem solvers, change agents, and drivers of social businesses are in great need of entrepreneurship training within the education system curriculum. The University Co-Creation Hub, U-COHUB, is a university-fit ideation program designed to turn university undergraduates into skilled providers of solutions for social and real-life problems, with provisions for mentoring, acquisition of leadership and global competitiveness skills, and technical training. The project supports creativity, entrepreneurship, and innovation, and thus provides opportunities for university undergraduates to develop and showcase innovative ideas for social impact.
The University of Medical Sciences, Nando, has a philosophy that revolves around issue of innovation and entrepreneurship. I do believe that in the 21st century, life revolves around not just following what things have been, but addressing things in new ways and preparing young graduates who are equipped, who are competent, who are being oriented to being able to address the challenges of their time and be able to take on the challenges of the future.
Students who succeed in this program will possess relevant employability skills and be able to create jobs via innovative solutions or as entrepreneurs.
I want to encourage our students. I know our students well. They are young people with great minds, with great innovation, with great sense of mission. I just want to encourage them. This is an opportunity you must not miss. Please seize it with all your heart and make sure we impact the world the way we can.
For inquiries, call +234 7066 504779 or visit www.ucohub.org. U-COHUB, raising a community of problem solvers.
We know that university partnerships like this benefit by talking to each other, but they benefit even more by engaging the private sector and others who might be relevant outside of academia. That will ensure that the program's really connected to the market and responding to what the market needs, instead of it being isolated solely in the academic sector.
Hello. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you. All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to this evening's mentorship session powered by the U-COHUB team. Welcome to this evening session. I bid you all welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in today to this mentorship session with us, tagged business branding and storytelling. Business branding and storytelling, yes. So, we're going to be looking at what business branding is, what is storytelling, what is the role that storytelling plays in business branding. How do we position a brand properly? How do we use storytelling to position our brands adequately? These are the things that the U-Co-op team and the experts that we have brought on board are going to be sharing with us tonight, and we're going to be learning so much. So I trust that you're all here ready to learn, ready to take home something, ready to learn something that you will put into your business and will change the trajectory of your business. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. If you know that you can hear me clearly, kindly leave a comment in the section that you can hear me. Thank you so much. And I welcome you once again. Now we're going to be moving right now to the introduction session. I have a group of team members on board that I would like to introduce to you this evening. I'm going to be introducing them one after the other, and each and every one of them is going to be, playing a role tonight in ensuring that it is a great session. Yes. So I'm going to be introducing to you first of all, Mr. David Ajayi. Mr. David Ajayi is one of the team members on the U-Co-op team. He is going to be anchoring. Mr. David, we can't really see you clearly. If you can adjust your camera, please. Can you adjust your camera so we can see you clearly?
Okay.
Good evening, David.
Yeah,
Welcome
I'll
on
do
board.
that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can do that.
Good evening. Okay, so while Mr.
Yeah.
David is trying to get his gadgets together, besides Mr. David, we also have Mr. Emmanuel Tobiloba. Emmanuel Tobiloba is a seasoned entrepreneur. Yes, I can see Emmanuel in the building. Good evening, Emmanuel. Hi.
Good
Thank you
evening.
for
Thank you for
joining
having
us
me.
today.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. So I was saying that Emmanuel Tobiloba is a seasoned entrepreneur and he has so much value to offer. He grew his business, with the branding, positioned his business in such a way that people are now coming in, to invest, and to patronize him. All of this knowledge is what he's going to be sharing with us this evening. So thank you once again, Emmanuel, for joining us this evening. I also have on board with me Miss Wonuola Omotosho. Wonuola, are you there? Okay, so I'm sure that Miss Wonuola will be joining in soon. Right now we're going to kickstart this event properly, and we're going to be starting that with the opening remark from David. The opening remark from David. David, are you there? So we're going to be connecting to David right now. He's going to be sharing the opening remark with us, welcoming us to this session, giving us, all the details we need to whet our appetites and get us ready. So, David, take it away, David. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Miss Olamide. I welcome everyone once again. I'm so excited to be here in this mentorship session. Good to see your face once again. I am David Ajayi by name. Today's session promises to be an amazing one. I congratulate everyone who are here, especially the students. Unimed, I congratulate you. Uh, These are what business giants are looking for outside there, and they are paying heavily. I'm telling you to get this, and we at U-COHUB are giving you for free of charge. So some of you might not know what we are doing now, but I bet with you in times to come, you will look back and appreciate U-COHUB and our sponsors. Thanks to the British Council, thanks to all our partners. The topic before us is branding and storytelling. Wow, this is an amazing one. While we bring on board our main speaker, I just want to hit some points here. I want to tell you that an effective brand strategy gives you a hedge, gives you major hedge. It gives you an hedge in your business, gives you an hedge in among your competitor. Brand simply means keeping your promise. That's just a simple words. A simple words. Keeping your promise to your customer. That is all what brand is all about. It tells you what I'm expecting from you as a customer. It tells me how you do your home thing, why you are unique from your customers. Brand is personality. Once again, your brand is derived from you yourself. It is who you are. Your brand is about you, about you. So people want to know the personality behind the brand. So when we are talking about brand, it's about you. So who they want to know who they are patronizing. They want to know who they are really dealing with. So tonight we'll be looking into the how, the what, the where, the when, and to whom you plan to communicate and deliver your brands to. These are very important tools you should have as an entrepreneur. Without spending much of your time, I will be handling this microphone session to our facilitator tonight. I wish you all a successful learning. Thank you very much. Miss Olamide, you can take over.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. Thank you so much. That was so awesome. That was amazing. That was an eye-opening, you know, opening speech. Like I told you, or I told you that David is going to whet your appetite. He's going to make you feel like, yes, we're ready for this, and I'm sure that you all are. All right. So right about now, we're going to be going into the mentorship session proper. Now, let me whet your appetite with something. In the middle of this, we're going to be coming with some giveaways here and there. So make sure you stay tuned. Do not miss any part of this session. You never know. Maybe while you're, distracted, and then the giveaway goes away. Just like that. So make sure you stay with us. Make sure you listen to every part of the next session and participate actively as necessary. So right now I'm going to be giving it away to Emmanuel Tobiloba to start the mentorship session, what branding is, what storytelling is. So I'm gonna be moving now and handing over to Emmanuel Tomiloba. Are you there? Mr. Emmanuel, are you there? Right. Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. All right, Mr. David, well done. That was even though I think the network was a bit itchy, but then it was an awesome one. So tonight we'll be talking about branding. We'll be talking about branding tonight, and we are going to be looking at what business branding is, and also we are going to be looking at what business storytelling is. These are important elements as entrepreneurs that we need to know and we must put into consideration. My slides will be up in a bit, but then if you are ready, just type in the comment section, I am ready with fire emoji. Like I am ready with fire emoji. I am ready. Yes, yes, I am ready with fire emoji. Like I am ready with fire emoji. I am ready, ready, ready. So these are things to get us started. And
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Are you guys ready for the giveaway session? We're going to be having a brief giveaway session before we continue with the mentorship session. Okay, and first of all, we're going to be starting with hold on. So we're going to be starting with Nine Mobile. We have Nine Mobile here, and I'm going to quickly read out the numbers. We have 86 227 I'm going to quickly type that in the comments for anyone who didn't get that. I'm going to quickly type that in, and then we'll be moving on to the next session. Thank you very much. And please make sure to pay attention because I might be asking you to share your ideas and lessons with us so that we can move on and you might win a token before the end of the session. Thank you very much.
this, tonight we'll be talking about business branding, and storytelling. How these things are effective tools for your business. How these things are effective tools for your business. So, on to the next slide. So, I'll be showing you a picture now. What I want you to do for me is to type in the comment section who you think that person is. Type in the comment section who you think that individual is. So the image you are seeing, who do you think that person is? Who do you think this person is? If you know, just type in the comment section, this is the person, and let's see how good you are in recognizing images and people. So let's see. So who do we have here? Who do you think we have here? Who is this? Like, who is this person you are seeing on the screen? Who do you think this person is? All right, I'm sure we are guessing. We want to know who the person is, or probably some of us have two names or three names popping up in our minds to predict. But then, without much further ado, this is actually Tony Elumelu, Mr. Tony Elumelu. This is actually Mr. Tony Elumelu. We are heading somewhere. This is actually Mr. Tony Elumelu. The next picture also, I want you to predict correctly who you think the person is. The next picture I'm showing you, I want you to predict correctly who you think this person is. Who do you think this person is? Who do you think this person is? Like from the hand, from the carriage, from the gesture, can you guess who this person is? Like from down to the clothes the person is putting on, down to the gesture. Who do you think that person is? Who do you think that person is? All right. So not to waste our time, this is Steve Jobs of blessed memory. This is Steve Jobs of blessed memory. Now, this is Steve Jobs of blessed memory. Now, the point for sharing, or the reason we have to predict or guess who these individuals are because these people that now in the course of this presentation or in the course of this session, you will find out the different types of brands we have, but these are personal brands. Personal brands. These people are personal brands. When we say personal brands, now you could probably what gave Mr. Tony Melu away was the fact that he was putting on a red tie and a red socks and a black suit, because that is his brand identity. That is his own identity. Of course, for Steve Jobs, you know, the to the neck, the hand gesture, you know, the way he places his hand, these are attributes of what a personal brand is. So on to the next slide, I'll be showing you what personal brand is, and why it is important as a business. What personal brand is and why it is important as a business. Now, you see, like I said here, excuse me, like I said here, there is a psychological identity these individuals have created in our minds, and it is easy to recognize them either through their dressing, like for Tony Elumelu, you see the tie, the red socks, then either through their gesture, the way they move their hands, the way they talk, their speeches, to identify what these individuals are. So now there are some elements, there are some brand elements, there are some tangible and intangible brand elements that would point to you what this person is. Now, when you imagine a Professor Wole Soyinka, what is coming to your head is Nobel Prize winner, gray hair, white hair, full. This is a full white hair and all. These attributes are examples of personal brand traits. Now, like I said, they identify what individuals combine together and all. Then the way they talk, their gait, their smile, their composure. You know, there are some persons that when they want to smile, it's just like this. It's more like a trademark smile. So your mannerism, the way you talk, the way you react to criticism, these are elements of personal branding. So now, in simple terms, brand simply means a strong positive perception of yourself, and a strong positive, let me just say, perception. Now, when you think of Coca-Cola, what comes to your head? When you think of Pepsi, what comes to your head? When you think of Apple, what comes to your head? These are branding. Like, these are examples of branding. So a brand is a strong positive perception of your company or yourself and its products or services in the minds of people. So when you are tired, you need to relax, and you are thinking of something, and the only thing that's coming to your head is Coke. Because during the brand storytelling of Coke, or during the advertisement of Coke, you are shown a picture of someone drinking Coke while thirsty, right? So these are attributes, these are psychological identity that have been sold to us. These are psychological identity that you can sell as a brand that makes people love you, or that want to make people to associate with you. So in the next slide, I'm going to be showing you what personal brand is, and the attribute of personal brand, and why as budding entrepreneurs you need to consider taking this up. Now, what is personal brand? Now, the images I showed you, that of Tony Elumelu and that of Steve Jobs, were they were easily identified because you have a picture of themselves, the way they dress, like I said, the way they talk, their mannerism on your head. So personal brand is simply what people notice about you, which makes them like you, right? Like, dislike, or completely ignore you. Now, you can't say you are a business person and you are going to a network, or you are going to a meetup, entrepreneurs meetup session, and what you do is just to dress just like the way you can't just dress anyhow. So probably you have a signature red cap you use. You have probably a design on your cap, something that makes people know that you are there. Something that makes people, even while you are on the stage, something that gives you away, that makes people know that, oh, this person is there. So that is what we call personal brand. So something that makes people identify with you, they know you are the one, and immediately they recognize your presence. Now, as a personal, there is a connection between your personal, now as a budding entrepreneur, because we are going to be focusing on corporate branding, but as a budding entrepreneur, you need to know this, that while growing your business, you may first want to build your personal brand. This is important. So what are those things? Your attributes. What are those things you cherish? Your belief system. Okay, now, if I am asking this question, what do you like about your favorite comic skit maker? You will say this person is funny, this person is this person is that, or why do you like Tony Elumelu as a business role model? You might probably say, his charisma towards business, his analytical reasoning towards business. These are attributes of personal brands. So now, having established what a personal brand is, you need to build your personal brand. How do you build your personal brand? It starts with the way you talk. This is important. The way you talk, your carriage, the way you move yourself, your speeches, confidence, your value system. These are important. And now let me digress and say, if you are building a personal brand, you must build a personal brand that directly influence your business. I'll take that again. If you are building a personal brand, you must build a personal brand that directly influences your business. This is critical, especially at the early stage. I know many of us on this session, we are budding entrepreneurs, and because U-COHUB has come to our school to help us identify our idea, to fine-tune our idea. So I need to place emphasis on this, that you need your personal brand. Comes with honesty, your integrity. These things are critical in building your product brand, either your product brand or your corporate brand. So in the next slide, I'm going to be showing you what brand is and what branding is. Now, there are two different things. What brand is and what branding is. Now, a brand, in simple terms, is just a strong positive perception of your company and its product or services in the minds of people. That's just its perception. When people think about Apple, people think about class. When people think about Apple, people think about class. Why? Because they feel it is the elite that make use of Apple. When I mean Apple gadgets, your iPhone, your iPad, your MacBook. When people think about class, they think about Apple, because they feel, because Apple is perceived. Note the word perceived. Apple is perceived to be a product that belongs to the elite, right? So that is branding. Perception of people about your product, perception of people about what you sell. Now, having known that, branding is just the process. Now, guys, listen. Branding is not just about logos. No, that is not branding. Branding is not just about logos. That is not branding. It is more than logos. Branding is more than logos. So branding is a process, right? Is a process. Now, why you all agree with me that a brand is just a strong positive perception of your company or your product? Now, The process of bringing those perception or every other thing, those services into life in such a way that you register it in the mind of the people is called branding. So branding is the process of creating strong positive perception of a company. Remember that word. Strong positive perception of a company and its product in customers' mind. Now, in customers' mind, if you're in the service product, in the client's mind, right? By combining the element of logos, designs, mission statement, vision statement throughout your marketing communication. Now, marketing communication, this is critical. This is critical. You know, like I used to say, if you are not selling as an entrepreneur, you are yet to be called an entrepreneur, right? I'll repeat that. If you are not selling as an entrepreneur, you are not what? You are not delivering value. So you are not qualified to be called an entrepreneur. If you are not selling, you are not qualified to be called what? An entrepreneur. So what branding does is that it helps you to build a fan base of loyal customers. Now, if you say you are delivering this thing in the next 2 hours, people can trust you with your time that this person is delivering in the next 2 hours. It's part of the intangible elements of your brand. So beyond logos, beyond fine designs, branding is much more. The way you react to criticism, the way you tell people about the way you do things, your delivery, your customer service. It's all about excellence. Branding should be about excellence. That's what we are talking about. So the value system are those things that makes up what branding is. So now we're talking about what corporate branding is. Don't forget, we are considering two elements here. We are considering branding, and we're also considering what storytelling is. I love storytelling because I am an amazing storyteller. I love storytelling. So what are the different types of brand? Like I said, because of the nature of this session, we'll focus more on personal brand, which I started with, and also the corporate brand. So what are the different types of brand? We have personal brand, we have product branding, we have service branding, we have retail branding, we have cultural or demographic branding, we have corporate branding, we have online branding, and we have offline branding. Personal, product, service branding, retail branding, cultural. Now, the one that seems to, when we talk about cultural or demographic branding, this is probably when you're in tourism industry, where you find something unique about a particular location, about some set of people, and you tailor whatever you're offering to their belief system and to their value system. This is what's cultural. In a nutshell, this is what cultural and demographic branding is. So I want to know that there are different types of branding. We have personal branding, we have product branding, we have service branding, we have the branding, we have corporate branding, we have online branding, and we have offline branding. So to the core message of today. Now, listen, there is a lot of noise in the market. Absolutely. Different innovation here and there. Many people are coming up with their innovation. Many people are coming up with their ideas that are capable of transforming the market, that are capable of transforming lives, that are capable of delivering values. So many people are coming to the market. So what is that thing that makes your product different from every other product? What is that thing that makes your product different from every other product? Now, you need to stand out from the crowd. Absolutely. So what is that thing that makes you stand out from the crowd? It is branding. You need to brand your business. Now, for example, let me use a very good example we can relate with, which is if you are selling, say, fish, for example, fried fish, or let's say, you need to imagine it in such a way that, okay, if this person is selling this, the difference should be clear. Your branding should be clear. Your packaging should be different from whoever is doing that same business. And your customer service should be top-notch to do whatever any other person is not doing. You all will agree that business is a competition, either we like it or not. Yes, collaboration is the new competition, but yet still, the competition exists. We must come to that terms that competition exists, and knowing the fact that competition exists, you need to do something that makes you or that gives you edge over your competitors in the market. What gives you edge, a leverage over your competitors in the market? So we are going to be examining what corporate branding is. What is corporate branding? Why do you need corporate branding? Now, we've considered personal branding. Now, I came from the standpoint that your personal brand should be like a stepping stone for you to build your corporate brand, especially if you are starting new. If you are starting new, like you are new, like I am doing this. We are doing this mentorship session because some of us are budding entrepreneurs. We are seeing our ideation stage, we are seeing our startup stage, we are seeing our implementation stage. So I need to bring this down. So, there is a statistic here that according to the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Nigeria has over 37.7 million micro, small and medium scale enterprises. Now, they account for more than 84% of total jobs in the country. Now, next slide, please. Now, having seen these statistics and data, it means a lot of people are already in the market you want to play in. A lot of people are in the market you want to play in. So what is that distinguishing factor in that market you are ready to play in? So we have, according to the word, okay, we've seen this already. Next slide, please. Next slide. So micro enterprises amount to bulk of. So now, of all of the types of branding, we'll be considering the corporate branding. Like I said, product branding, strives on the selling point of your product. That means the unique selling point of a product. When they say unique selling point of a particular product, it simply means what makes that product special. Now, if you ask someone, why is it that you love using Apple? The person will tell you because Apple helped me to command class. Apple helped me to command class. Another person will tell you that I am using Apple because it is the only product I can use. And let me tell you one secret about Apple today. Starting from today, when you watch crime scenes in movies, you will see that they don't introduce Apple to those kind of scenes. So let's say, for example, they are trying to figure out who acts a particular thing. I tell you for free, you can never see them using Apple, probably with a criminal or something. So that is to tell you the kind of class Apple sells. So when you ask someone, why do you prefer to use Samsung? Some will tell you, I prefer to use Samsung because their camera is top notch. I prefer to use Samsung because Samsung camera is top notch. So there are 1 million reasons why someone would prefer Samsung to iPhone, or why someone would prefer iPhone to Samsung. Everything is still, the tenet of this presentation, of this session, is that branding is a perception. This is critical. Branding is a perception, your perception of a particular product, right? So we've seen that product branding basically is to increase your profitability, leveraging your unique selling point. So now, let's now look at what corporate branding is. So I'm sure if you don't know that Google as a search engine is not standing on its own. Google as a search engine is not standing on its own. So it's more like there is a covering on Google. Alphabet, right? There's a covering of which is Alphabet. So it's just like a subsection of the company. So now, when we're not talking about corporate branding, so this has to do with the entity. This has to do with the entity as a company. So what is unique about the company? What is that distinct factor about the company? What makes that company so unique that people don't want to leave that company? What is that fascinating thing? And when we talk about corporate brand, this has to do with the advertising, the brand positioning, the market, everything. So now the question I'm posing to you is that, how are you imagining? Now I know we are at the budding stage, like we are at that stage where we are still coming to terms to finding our logos, our design templates, our name it or name them, right? So I want us to understand that. I want us to understand that it is important that you know this. So what is brand positioning? Brand positioning is how do you want to position yourself in the market? Now, for example, when you think about quenching your taste when you are thirsty, the first thing that comes to your mind is Coke, because they sold a perception. I keep repeating, perception. They sold a perception that when you are thirsty, man, you need to take Coke. When you are thirsty, you need to take Coke. There is that thing there already. They sold that perception. So there is a positioning that comes with that. Then how do you want your brand, like what I explained now, how do you want to position your brand in the psychology of the consumer? Now, there is already a psychology in the mind of anybody that sees Apple in your hand, and any Apple product in your hand, that, oh, this person belongs to the league of the elites. This person belongs to the league of the elite, even if you are not in the league of the elite. Why? Because there is a perception to people that use iPhone or Apple products. So you need to create I think we need to do a giveaway section. Then after this particular slide, the giveaway section will come in. Then I'll continue. Now, then understanding and knowing that you need to create a particular psychology. Now, knowing that, okay, you will agree with me that most of the Apple products are barely affordable for the struggling class. They are not. Let me just let the cat out of the bag. They are not affordable for the struggling class. So when you see an iPhone with someone, you perceive it that, oh, this person should belong to the elite class. So when you now see, I don't want to spoil anybody's market here, so I'm not going to call any brand here or any product here, but your positioning tells if you are offering an elite product or something, any other person can do or can buy. So this is critical. So when you are creating either a service or whatever, please ensure you define your positioning from the beginning. Is this going to be affordable for the elites? Is this for some sect of people? And the truth is, you cannot create product for everybody. This is one problem, or this is where people struggle in terms of business. You cannot create your product for everybody. Your product should have a target consumer or a target audience. So don't say, I want to create this thing so that everybody can buy. Everybody cannot buy your product. See, if everybody is buying your product, you'll be broke. That is the truth. If everybody is buying your product, you'll be broke. So concentrate on those that need your product. This is important. Your brand positioning, right? Your brand positioning is important. So I'm going to take a pause. Then we do our giveaway. Then I come back to continue. Then we just slide into storytelling. So get your phone ready. You might just want to take you might just be the next lucky winner, So get your phone ready. While we wait for Sheila to call. Okay. So we can have the giveaway section now.
Good evening, everyone. I hope we have all been having an amazing time. Thank you very much, Mr. Toby. And I'm going to be calling out MTN. Get your phones ready, and then I would call the numbers out. 10. This is MTN. 10 45 7218 0959 26827. So kindly signify in the comments if you got that, and we'll be moving on to the next giveaway session. I'm going to quickly call out another card. Is everyone ready? Kindly signify, drop an emoji, drop something in the comments for me, and we'll be moving on to the next session. So I'm going to be calling out Airtel 1165 1864 1165 1864 2436 6028. And that's the end of the giveaway session for this time right now. And Mr. Toby, I'll hand it back to you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. So like I said, you cannot create products. It is impossible for you to create products for everybody. So you identify who you are sent to from the place of the brand perception or brand positioning. So we'll move on to the next slide. So now, I haven't known that there's something called brand position. There's something called brand identity. The next slide, but what I'm saying now is not in the next slide, but I want to keep this in. Brand identity. So I want you to imagine, when you imagine the color red in your head, you are probably seeing Coke, you are probably seeing Airtel. When you imagine the color red in your head, so when you imagine the color, say yellow in your head, MTN is coming to your subconsciousness because yellow is their logo, or probably is their color. So yellow is coming to your head. There is an identity already. So when I mention Tony Elumelu, what comes to your head is, oh, that man with red tie, always with red tie, red socks, black suits. There is an identity already. So when you imagine red, you are seeing Coke. When you imagine yellow, you are seeing MTN. So that is brand identity in terms of the way they deliver their value. There are some people that when you watch them online, you know that the way they talk doesn't change. It's the same thing every time. Hi there, my name is Emmanuel Tobilova there. So that's always my signature anytime I am on any live video. So it's also part of the brand. It's also part of the brand identity. This is important. So what are the important factors for corporate branding or for this positioning? Understanding the nature of your brand. This is critical. Some people want to offer services they don't even know anything, want to offer services, products they know nothing about. So you need to understand the brand, the nature of the brand. So for example, I play in the agricultural sector. To some extent, I know many things. Don't let me say everything. You cannot know everything, but you can know many things, right? You cannot know everything, but you can know many things. So I know to some fault, I know many things about crop farming because that is my area of specification. Understanding the brand, understanding what it entails, and understanding the brand comes from the place of understanding the industry you are playing in. This is critical. Understanding the industry you are playing in is very important. This is important. So the next thing is your business philosophies. You need to understand your business philosophies. You need to understand your long-term and short-term objectives. These are important things. See, some people want to set out business without profit projection, without objective. See, you are not creating or you are not designing any product for yourself. You are designing product for the sake of the consumers. See, if you say, I love this design, the end point of the love should not be about you. The end point of the love is about the consumer that are using the product, right? Imagine a client asks you to probably build a shoe for him. You now said, let me assume this person has the same shoe size with me, and In reality, it's not. But because you feel this person should have, no. You've not created value. You've not created value. In the creation of value, somebody must be at the receiving end. Well, both parties, but someone is at the larger part of the receiving end, which is the consumer, and that is the satisfaction the consumer derives in using your brand. So don't begin to say, I am designing products for myself. You are not designing products for yourself. You are designing products for the users. This is important. Probably I know in U-COHUB we have a team of people that are already in MedSearch. MedSearch is an engine that helps medical students to find information about anything about medical professions. Also, we have MedWaka. MedWaka is an ambulance service that when there is emergency, they provide medical facilities, medical resources. These are technology-oriented solutions. But at the end of the day, the focus should be on the user. So it is the test of the usability of your products. So any brand you are building must suit or must quench the client or the consumer taste. Then the next thing is your target audience. Like I said, you cannot feed everybody. Identify your target audience and feed them. For example, I play in the agricultural sector. I said that again. So there are some, let's say, for example, cassava. The next thing I am thinking in my head is to find probably a company that makes ethanol to sell cassava to them, or I want to sell soya beans. The next thing I'm thinking in my head is to sell to people that do animal feed. These are critical things. So you need to understand your target audience. Again, you cannot feed everybody. You cannot supply everybody. You are not sent to everybody. It will wear you out. You are not sent to everybody. So find your market and play in your market. Then next thing is understand your product and services. The dynamic of your product and service. See, for the inventions we've received so far in the U-COHUB, most of them are to some fault are products, to some fault are services. But you need to understand this. You need to understand the market. You need to study the market. See, yes, there is competition in the market, but you need to study those in the market also who are already playing in the market. You are a new entrant in the market. You need to understand this. Pride is one of the fastest way of dying. As a business person, pride is one of the fastest way of dying as a business person, or pride is one of those elements that will kill your business early. So you need to be like a sponge, ready to be soaked every time, ready to learn, especially from your competitors, and cite what they are not doing, and think about what you can do better and what they are not doing at all. So this is important. Next slide, please. So it is critical you understand your market, and it is critical also you understand your product. So what are the internal elements of corporate brand? The internal element of corporate brand is vision statement. Next slide, please. Mission statement and core values. Vision statement, mission statement, and core values. So what is mission statement? Mission statement is the dream you have that describes an ideal future or the state of your business. That's your vision statement. Like, okay, in the next probably we want to be the number one fast growing agricultural firm in Africa, in something like that. So this is a vision statement in terms of the future state of your business. So I could say afternoons would be we want to be the number one producers of soya beans in Africa. We want to be the number one producers of soya beans in Africa. Vision statement. Projecting to the future. The next one, please. Mission statement. So mission statement is now, telling you this is the initiatives, the strategy, simply what you do to get to where you are going. Now, the vision statement is telling you what is and what's to come, while the mission statement is telling you how we are going to get to that destination. For those of us in the mentorship room, you are going to get access to this, like to see typical examples of how a mission statement and a vision statement is being written. See, this is critical. What's your vision statement? What's your mission statement? Then the next thing is core values. What are your core values? See, there is no way you run a business or an enterprise that you need to put into cognizance your core values. What are the core values? Now, there's an abbreviation here, respect. It could be trust, integrity. These are leadership, personal development. These are core values. Core values are those elements or those intangible, I repeat, intangible forces that contribute to the growth of the brand. So let's say, for example, let me use honesty as a core value. Now, let's say, for example, someone says, I know these guys are going to deliver this thing in the next 2 hours. And in the next 2 hours, you deliver that thing. In the next 2 hours, you deliver that thing. That's honesty. It's also part of what? The core values. Next slide, please. So the next slide is just telling you the overview of what corporate branding is, the brand core and everything. So you get the brand core, you get access to this. So next slide, please. So in the next slide, we'll be talking about, now you've identified your brand. You've identified yourself as a business person. Like, you already know, oh, this is what I should do. This is what, this is it, this is that, and all. So now, how do you now project this thing to the world? See, you cannot be blinking in the dark, or you cannot be winking in the dark. Imagine now where you are, off the lights, and you wink in the dark. When you wink in the dark, nobody sees you. You only know you are winking. It means when you have a brand, a very good brand at that, an excellent brand at that, and nobody knows about the brand, it still means you are winking or you are blinking in the dark. So how do you now project this thing? Yes, one of those ways is advertising. But I'm not delving into advertising. I am delving into storytelling. Storytelling is a powerful tool. Now, in 2003, it was the first time I visited a graveyard. 2003 was the first time I visited a graveyard. I visited that graveyard. The name of the graveyard is at Matori. The ambience, the chirping sounds of birds. Yet at that point, grief. It was that point in time, I lost someone very close to my heart, which was my mom in 2003. Now, after the death of my mom, a lot of things happened. And one of those things that happened was that I lost my academic strength. I won't tell you I used to be the best student in my class, but I used to be one of the best students in my class before the death of my mom. So when my mom died, my education actually suffered. So the trauma, then the person that used to be among the best just went down, and that was all. I was going down up until even when I got to secondary school, I was still struggling academically, and all. But one day something happened. I met someone that taught me a lot of techniques I can use to read and remember without cramming. And that was the high point of my life. That was the defining moment of my life, because I moved from a class jester to a class superstar. At that point, when I got hold of those acts of remembering things easily or faster, I moved from a class jester to a class superstar. What happened? That was the underlining part of that story. Then I decided to be helping other people who were struggling or who are struggling academically with those techniques I had laid hold of with other trainings like NLP, other trainings around psychology. And before you know it, I found out that many people had the same struggle I had. So many people were finding it hard to, retain information, recall information better. And before you know it, I went on a journey, and this was what birthed the journey. So anytime I was called to speak, or anytime I am called to speak in a particular place, when I share the story, the first thing that attract people to me is the story of that point that I lost my mom, and at the point where I lost my dad, I lost my mom and dad. So, but the point of the death of my mom was what contributed to my dwindling academic performance. So when I shared that story, people were able to relate. You know what that means to me? Then sales started coming in. Why? Because people relate with emotion. See, one key word you will take away from this section is, you see, storytelling and emotion are inseparable. Storytelling and emotion are inseparable. They are like Siamese twins. You can't separate them. The emotion in communicating your brand story, the emotion in communicating your brand story is critical. Now, what is storytelling? It is a reimagined experience narrated with enough emotion. Now, I told the story of how I lost my mom with some certain level of emotion, right? With a certain level of emotion. I want you to reimagine that experience. I don't want you to have, I pray you don't have that kind of experience. But in your head, you are thinking, what would a young boy, I was not even in my teens then. I was between 9 and 10. I was between 9 and 10 when that happened. So imagine, you are imagining, what would a 9-year-old boy do? What would a 9-year-old boy do after the death of his mom? And on top of everything, he now still struggled academically. So, what is storytelling? It is what a reimagined experience narrated with enough emotion and feeling in order to cause your listeners or readers to imagine the experience you have shared. I am heading somewhere. We are heading somewhere with this section. See, storytelling is a powerful tool if you can leverage the art of telling a compelling story. The next slide, please. So, we've known that storytelling and emotion are inseparable. So, why tell a story? Why do you need to tell a story? Number one is stories well told captivate people. See, now I am putting this challenge to you as a business person, as an entrepreneur. You must understand the fact that you must be a compelling and amazing storyteller. Listen, the fact that you are an entrepreneur, you must be a compelling storyteller. This is important. This is critical because every year and there you'll be called upon to talk about your business, to share to give a pitch about your business. And one thing you need to know is that storytelling is a leverage. Now, I'll give an example. Then the next one is story makes more impact and impression on people. Stories make more impact and impression on people. When you tell a compelling and amazing story, people will be impacted. Now, let me say something. In business, we used to say that people act on emotion before considering logic. I'll repeat that. People act on emotion before considering logic. What that means is, if I say, for example, you have eczema or pimples on your face, and you just see me pop up, and I say, you know what, guys, for the past 12 years, I struggled with pimples. For 12 years, I struggled with pimples. But one day, I went to my village and I saw an old man, an elderly man, and he said, "Why all these pimples on your face and everything?" And he said, "I'm going to take you somewhere where you get this leaf, herbal leaf, and what you do is squeeze out the water. When you are done squeezing out the water, you just apply it to your face mildly, and after one week, you will see that the pimples or the pimple is dried off." There is an underlying story. So at that point, if you have, let's say, eczema or pimple on your face, if you have eczema or pimple on your face or pimples on your face, you now say, "Oh, I think I can buy this product." If this person could suffer this thing for 12 years and just a water from a leaf could heal or could take away this thing, then I can buy this thing. So you won't even consider the implication because you are desperate that you want that thing to leave your face. So at that point, you are acting based on emotion. The emotion is the story you were told. It is after you now bought it like, I hope this thing will work like this, and I bought this thing 1,000. I just hope it works. At that point, you are saying, I hope it works. You are applying logic. But at that point, you say, 12 years, and just after one week, this person was able to cure this whole thing. You acted based on what? Based on emotion. Please, in the comment section, put your fire emoji, say I am learning, share your bullet points, share things you've learned in this section. The other thing is story creates emotional connection. I said that already. Story creates experience. Now, I will use Coca-Cola again. When you are thirsty, Coca-Cola have sold an experience that you see, if you are thirsty, if you want to quench your thirst, you need to drink Coca-Cola. If you want to quench your thirst, you need to drink Coca-Cola. That is the experience Coca-Cola created through their advert and through a softly told story. A guy, came back, and the next thing is you see him gulping a bottle of Coke. Gulping a bottle of Coke. There's an experience that is being sold there. There was an experience sold there. And the experience is simply anytime you are experiencing that fact that you are thirsty, you need only one solution, which is Coke. You were sold an experience. Next slide, please. So, U-COHUB, in this section, we are showing you, and we understand that a lot of us, especially from Unimed, are medical students. We now want to show you from the medical background the science act of storytelling. Next slide, please. So you will see the left-hand brain and the right-hand brain. Left-hand brain. See, basically, the left-hand brain is linear, logical, sequential, analytical object. Now, the essence of showing you this is you now see that part of creative, emotional. Anytime you want to make the essence for you to see, it is pointless if you are telling your brand story and your brand is not making influence or you are not closing sales. Create influence, close sales, and impact lives. Create influence, close sales, and impact lives. I repeat, create influence, close sales, and impact lives. So what is the science behind storytelling? Why would you tell a story and someone would listen to you, and before you know it, boom, you've created an ambience, an experience in their head. Now, chemicals secreted when you tell a story, or chemicals secreted in storytelling, we have dopamine, we have oxytocin, and we have endorphin. Dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphin. I remember a particular experience, a terrible experience at that. There used to be this fine girl. I used to see every time, and I'm like, damn, this girl must have been because God took his time to create her. So one day, I summoned the courage to talk to her. I'm like, you know what? You are pretty. Can I be your friend? And that was how it started. So one night, after we're done at the Mami market, something happened nothing happened, right? What I just told was a fictional story. Now, when I said something happened, you're like, what really happened? At that point, you're saying, what really happened? I have secreted your dopamine. So that is what happens when someone is sharing a particular experience, or when someone is trying to sell a particular product, and the person is sharing an experience as related to that product, and you're like, I want to know what next. Or you are watching a particular series, and the next thing you're like, I want to know what next in that is. They are secreting, your dopamine is being secreted, and it has, please next slide, and it has an effect, on your brain. So dopamine is an hormone and a neurotransmitter. It plays several important roles in the brain and body. Dopamine is a type of neurotransmitter. Now, let me spare you of those things. The experience I just told, the fictional experience I told, at that point I said something happened after Mami Market that night. I created an experience that was like, okay, what happened? If I said, okay, soldier came and they beat us, I've spoiled the whole thing. But the moment I said something happened, you actually wanted to know what really happened. Dopamine. So dopamine is the chemical. I hope you know that dopamine is the chemical release when you are addicted to something. If you are addicted to Coke, it is dopamine rush, adrenaline rush rather. When you are addicted to something, that at that point your dopamine is at work. When you are addicted to something, your dopamine is at. Next slide, please. So that's the chemical equation for dopamine. Next slide. So we want to look at the effectiveness of dopamine. What does dopamine cause in people that will not make them to listen to you and for you to sell your brand to them? For you to sell your brand to them. Now, focus. At that point, I said, I saw a girl, I said, oh, God created her on Sunday because God took his time to create her. You were focused, like, in Nigerian parlance, So there was focus, right? Now, the next thing is you want to know the end of the story. So what dopamine does is it helps you when you tell your story in such a way that it creates focus in your audience, it motivates them, and you tell it in a very creative way. See, amazing stories don't leave people memory. The same way you cannot do without drinking Coke when you are thirsty. They sold a story to you. It's an amazing story that was being sold, right? Amazing story creates memory. Or let me say, stories create memories. I just shared my 2003 experience, right? When I lost my mom. So stories create memories. Stories create memories. So what helps you in sustaining that memory is dopamine. So you must find a way to tell your brand story in a very compelling way. I advise people when you want to pitch an idea, when you want to sell a product, tell the story behind the product. If it was that you have, God forbid, someone had an accident and one leg was chopped off, and the person came up with a better technology that can help him or her replace the leg, tell the story why you are selling that product. Story sells faster. People act on emotion before logic. The next one is the chemical is what is induced when you could not wait for the next episode of your favorite movie. Now, let me tell you this. A lot of times, people want to sell without first educating their audience. See, in telling your brand story, you are educating your audience about your products. Don't just show up online, offline, and say, you know what, I am selling this thing, it is sold for 10,000 naira. No, you need to create an experience. You need to generate trust first. It is trust first before people buy from you, and you will see the chemical that is being secreted when people trust you. The next slide, please. We have endorphin. Now, the endorphin, this is oxytocin. Yes, oxytocin. What oxytocin does is that, see, let me use this analogy. When a mom is feeding a baby, it is oxytocin, the chemical. It is oxytocin as a chemical that is being released. And what happens is there is a bond. It creates bond. Right? So when people begin to trust your product, you are secreting a particular chemical called oxytocin. So you are working on people's oxytocin. When people can trust you with millions of naira because they have seen you told your brand story. So it means that oxytocin is being secreted. You have gotten people's trust. That's oxytocin. People's trust. So please, next slide. The impact of oxytocin is that it builds trust, generosity, and bonding. See, people buy from who they like. People buy from who they like. People buy from who they trust. I am sharing this storytelling from the perspective of you selling, from the perspective of you selling, creating influence, and educating your audience. Selling, creating influence, and educating your audience. So the first thing oxytocin does is that generosity, then trust. People trust you. So when it is being secreted, there is trust. There is a level of trust. There is a level of trust. Then the next thing is that there will not be bond. See, there are some people that, okay, let me say this. Imagine that woman close to your school or close to the campus that sells bread and beans. And one amazing thing about the woman's bread and beans is that it is the best in town. So you've trusted the woman. You can now go back. You can now go back anytime to eat. Why? Because there is a connection already. There is a bonding. There is a trust. So with your brand story, create trust. You know, when I was talking about core values, I said trust and honesty. See, the day people lose your trust as a brand is the day you start going down as a brand, right? So create that ambience that make people trust you and bond with you. So oxytocin is that thing that is now being secreted. Oxytocin also helps people to empathize. See, empathy. You see that point? Each time I sell this book, I found out that I sell more to people that lost their mom at a very tender age. Why? Empathy. They are seeing what I'm seeing. They pass through what I've passed through. They don't want to read about the experience. They want to know how I was able to overcome my academic struggle. Empathy. So it is oxytocin that is being secreted when people empathize with you. So they now empathize. Oh, so this person struggled with pimples for 12 years, and this herbal solution would cure pimples in the next 1 week. I'm going to buy this. Empathy. You've created an ambience of empathy. Then the last one is endorphin. Now, there's something called social media management. You see that companies or entities, what they do is they share memes. It's not actually called meme. They share memes, funny memes. You laugh. You just go there. Okay, with this endorphin, imagine your favorite skit maker, Bro Shaggy, Mr. Macaroni, Kiki, and the likes. So when you are probably stressed, you just go there. They become your favorite brand. Some people prefer Wole Agba to Bro Shaggy. Your choice. But you know what? They've created that thing that makes you come because they want to help you secrete your endorphin. Now, either you like it or not, Bro Shaggy, Mr. Macaroni, all those your favorite skit makers are personal brand. They are selling something. Either you like it or not. The point where they have to redirect you, the point they have to redirect you to their YouTube link, they've sold to you. I'm sure you know that people cash out on YouTube. People cash out on YouTube. Most of these your favorite skit makers have 500,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers. See, from that subscription and the watch time, they are making money. From that subscription, the watch time, they are making money. So they've sold to you. They bought your attention. See, in this economy, attention is important. In this economy, that's why you must tell stories to catch people's attention. Attention is scarce. So you need to tell stories to catch people's attention. So they've sold to you. Then the next thing is you just click, you go to YouTube to watch them, right? Because they've sold something to you. So they've secreted your endorphin, and the next thing, they are helping you to ease stress, they are helping you to feel happy, they are helping you to be good again. The next slide, please. We are rounding up this section, but I hope you will you in the comment section show what you've been learning, and how you want to translate these things to your brand, your personal brand, your corporate brand, and how you start telling amazing stories. And you should start with this nice section. You know, go to your social media platform. You know, today at U-COHUB, I learned what branding is, the types of branding. I learned how critical storytelling is. And people will start taking you serious. This person has gone through a particular training and all. That is how it is. Don't keep quiet. When you know things, don't keep quiet. Stop winking in the dark. At this point, I want you to screenshot I want you to screenshot your screen, go to your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your LinkedIn, talk about your experience. Like, it's part of storytelling. What you are doing is you are now positioning yourself. See, the future of employment will be that people that can influence a business brand. See, for example, now, let's say I have 1 million followers on Instagram and probably a bank wants to employ me. They know that if they employ me, I have 1 million followers, I can influence. But see, life doesn't start when you finish school. Life starts right in school. So screenshot this session, talk about it, tell your friends what you've learned, tell your friends how you've learned, what you want to be doing going forward. Please, the next slide. Next slide. So endorphin reduces your stress and all. So now you need this to be a master storyteller. First, a message. What is your brand identity? What is your brand core message? What is that problem you are solving? Not today, you are the chemist. Tomorrow, you are the pharmacist. Tomorrow, you are the microbiologist. No, have a core message and begin to talk about that message every day. You identified your niche as a personal. Let me now talk to you as a personal brand. See, when people see that you are talking about something continuously, they perceive that you have an area of expertise in that particular field. What they do is that they come to you they consult you, and at the end of the day, you charge them for picking your brain. So you need to define what your message is. What is your brand story? What is your brand core? What is that thing that you want to focus on? Then, having known that, okay, you now have a message, the next thing is you need to look for people, your target audience, your target customers. For example, if I want to sell, let's say, beauty line products, I want to sell mascara, I want to sell Mary Kay, my fourth is Instagram. I need to go to Instagram to sell to guys on Instagram, run ads, look for people on Instagram, do videos on Instagram, tell stories on Instagram, sell to people on Instagram, and make money on Instagram. So you need to find the people. Your target audience, who you want to sell to. Then the last thing is you need to find a platform. This is critical. A platform. You need to find a platform. This is critical. Now, either you are using Facebook, you are using offline, you are using online, you are using LinkedIn. I would advise probably you want to pursue a professional career, you can use LinkedIn to tell your story effectively. But you see, if you are into product, services, you may want to consider running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, let people know about your business. So you don't share story. Now, have a core message. 1, find your target audience. Then 3, you need to find a platform. This is important, a platform. As I round off, let me say this. You don't become a storyteller by wishing to become a storyteller. You become a storyteller by telling story daily, right? You don't become a storyteller by wishing to become a storyteller. You become a storyteller by telling stories daily, and it starts with the experience you are having right now. Take a screenshot, go to your Facebook, go to your YouTube, go to your LinkedIn, tell stories about what you've learned in this session. So, going forward, you now need to cultivate the habit of telling your brand story. What it does is it brings visibility. People now begin to see your brand. They now begin to perceive you as someone that can solve their pressing problem. So we've come to the end of the session, and if you have any question, please do ask. I'll be willing to do justice to your questions before I hand over to Ms. Olamide. Thank you for having me. So I'll be reading your questions in the comment section so that we can answer your questions. Questions, ask your questions. Or you can decide to share in the comment section what you learned today, your take home, what you want to start doing differently in your innovation with your ideas. Say something in the comment section. Let's know what you've learned today Let's know what you've learned today. So questions. If there are no questions, I am handing over to the admin, Miss Olamide. You're welcome. Questions? Stories well told. Yes, Olamide, thank you. Stories well told captivate people. Absolutely. Stories well told captivate people. Questions? You must cultivate the art of, yes, communication is the most. See, one thing is, people are always moved when you touch their pain point. I didn't remember to share that pain point. When you touch someone's pain point, like bam, this is what this person is facing. People tend to take you serious. Their pain point. Know the pain point of your target audience. What is that pressing need they are having? Probably someone is struggling to collect, to make payment from abroad, and before you know it, you design something that can help them receive payment from abroad. You solved a particular problem. Branding is, yes, thank you. Branding is process of, distinguishing your product, services. Yes. Thank you so much, Eunice. Thank you so much. Thank you for that feedback. You know what? Now your name is being displayed there. Take a screenshot. Tell people what you've learned today. Tag U-COHUB. This is important. U-COHUB, just still the same name. Tag us on Instagram. Tag us on Facebook. Tag us on LinkedIn. Let us read your experiences. Let us repost your experiences. Let us share your experiences. Yeah, the day you lose your trust is the day your brand diminishes. Yes, very true. Absolutely. Thank you, Damilola Davis. Yes, the day you lose your trust is the day your brand starts dying. It's important. Don't play with your integrity. Yes, money is good. Money is important, but don't rate money above your brand. It can kill your brand. It is capable of killing your brand. This is important. Any other question? Guys, questions? Storytelling is very key. Yeah, storytelling. If I'm using the wrong platform for position, what do I do to start afresh? Now, if you are using the wrong platform, the first thing you need to do is to do your audience analysis and get the demography of your audience. Now, if your audience are young people, you might want to get them on TikTok or Instagram. But if your audience are set of professionals, or you are selling professional kits, you might want to look for them on LinkedIn, or you want to do email marketing, right? You might want to look for them on LinkedIn, or you want to do email marketing. But if your audience are Gen Z, or probably late millennials. Millennials are those born in between 1990, like in the 90s. They are born in the 90s. Those are millennials. Gen Z are those that are born in 2000, right? So, but when you are looking for, if you're in your audience analysis, if the Gen Z are those that dominate your audience analysis, then you need to go and find them on Instagram. That is your platform. However, depending on what you are selling, depending on your product, depending on the brand, but I know for free that you will find this set of people, the Gen Z, you find them on Instagram and you find them on TikTok. You will find this set of people there. I hope this answers. So what you need to do afresh is do your audience analysis. Where do I find these guys? Where do they go to? Where can I find them? Like, are they Gen Z? Are they millennials? Are they dominant? Yes, Twitter too. Are they dominant on Twitter? Are they dominant on? So you need to look at those things. Then you now need to reposition yourself. Now I need to say this again. There are some people. There is a particular place on Facebook that gives you the opportunity to write about your bio. See, listen, guys. Let me give you one trick. For me, if I'm to write if I'm to open another Facebook account that is positioning me as a farm consultant, in that bio, this is what I'm going to write. I will say, I help busy people to set up their farm while I manage it for them, or provide a management template. They are busy and still making money. See, Nigerians or Africans or anybody in the world like money. You see, at that point, I'm putting, I help busy people to set up their farm, provide a management template. While they are busy, they are still making money. So you see that making money part, I have positioned myself as an authority in the area of setting up farm for people. I am sharing this because I want you to take something. So don't say I am sexual there's this grammar people use psype or something. I am this, I am that. See, if you want to sell online, if you want to position yourself as a brand, if you want to gain visibility, you need to be intentional. Intentionality, you need to be intentional. You need to be intentional. So you need to be intentional about people who tag you. You need to be intentional about what you post online. You need to be intentional about everything. The way you communicate, the pictures you post online. Don't just post anyhow picture of dirty environment, except you are an environmentalist or you are a farmer like me. You are permitted to do that to some fault. But then if you are none of these things, make sure you are positioning. Let people take you serious. By the time every time you are snapping, you are putting on slippers, people are just saying, oh no, I can't trust this person with my money. So these things are important. I hope this answers your question. Any other question? So that the admin can take over. I guess no question. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. And please keep sharing. Remember to tell your story of this event, what you've learned, how important it was for you, and what you want to start doing going forward. Some of you, after this section, you need to go and clean up your social media platforms. You see that Facebook where they will tag you and another 199 people. Take those things away. Let it inform you that people want to tag you. Then you accept the tagging. That is how people come to share things that are just related to your brand core, brand identity, brand story. Those are the things you should be sharing, not someone tag you and 121 other people in a picture that doesn't concern you. With that, people don't take you serious. Don't forget, branding is all about perception. Perception is key. So, thank you so much. Miss Olamide will be coming on board now to round off this section. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. That was an amazing session. Thank you so much, Mr. Tobiloba. Let me share with you one of the things I learned. I learned about brand positioning, I learned about storytelling. One of the things that Mr. Tobiloba mentioned is that you need storytelling, to position your brand. People need to hear your stories. You need to be able to share. And speaking of storytelling, we must ensure that we go ahead to share our story this evening. Go on Facebook, go on YouTube, go on LinkedIn, go to your social media platforms. If you are a professional, go on your LinkedIn platform. You're a business person, you're an entrepreneur, go to your Facebook, share this session. Go there with your screenshots. Tell them what you've learned, tag U-COHUB, let the world know that you have been a part of an impacting session this evening. Thank you so much once again. So, in rounding up, I would like to seize this opportunity to thank the management and project team of the U-COHUB. University Co-Creation Hub, that is what U-COHUB means. Would like to say a big thank you, for putting this together. Without avenues such as this, Nigerian students, young people in our country and in Africa at large need to be exposed to information such as this so that they can learn, they can build themselves early. Mr. Tobiloba was mentioning that you're not supposed to be a part of some weird group tags where you don't know what's happening, but they tag you and 1 million other people in a post that doesn't doesn't position you as a person of value. And then these are things that young people engage in without even realizing its effects on their personality. And then when they apply for jobs, they go for interviews, they do a great interview and like, okay, we'll get back to you. Those companies go to run a social media background check on them and they're like, oh my God, no. We can't work with this kind of person. Or I want to you want me to invest in your business. Of course, I will go to your social media platforms. I want to see who you are. I want to see how you have positioned yourself. Are you a person of excellence? Are you a person who showcases himself or herself as someone who, when I hand my money over to, will be able to manage it effectively? These are so much more what we have learned this evening, and we are so grateful to the U-COHUB team. We would also like to appreciate UNIMED, University of Medical Sciences, Ondo State, Nigeria. They are one of our partners. Would also like to appreciate so much the Liverpool John Moores University, the British Council. Would like to appreciate the Innovation for African University. We would like to thank all of our partners, for making this possible. Without you, we wouldn't be able to achieve this. Without you, we would not be able to impact lives the way we are doing now. So we'd like to appreciate each and every one of you, our partners. And to you, our amiable audience, we'd like to say a big thank you. We'd like to thank you because without you, this show wouldn't be a success. This event wouldn't be a success. You are a huge part of what we are doing here. And you are our first point of contact. And we believe that with you, we would reach the rest of the nation and the world at large. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this event. And with this, we have come to a close of today's mentorship session. Thank you so much once again. I would like to wish you all a wonderful night rest or morning, wherever you are all over the world. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good night.
The 21st century market reality reveals a huge gap between school curricula and marketplace demand. While in school, graduates are expected to acquire relevant knowledge, skills, and attitudes to solve critical problems in the workplace. A staggering figure of 250 million African youths looking for work shows the potential of African economies. In Nigeria, future problem solvers, change agents, and drivers of social businesses are in great need of entrepreneurship training within the education system curriculum. The University Co-Creation Hub, U-COHUB, is a university-fit ideation program designed to turn university undergraduates into skilled providers of solutions for social and real-life problems, with provisions for mentoring, acquisition of leadership and global competitiveness skills, and technical training. The project supports creativity, entrepreneurship, and innovation, and thus provides opportunities for university undergraduates to develop and showcase innovative ideas for social impact.
The University of Medical Sciences in Ondo has a philosophy that revolves around issue of innovation and entrepreneurship. I do believe that in the 21st century, life revolves around not just following what things have been, but addressing things in new ways and preparing young graduates who are equipped, who are competent, who are being oriented to being able to address the challenges of their time. I'll be able to take on the challenges of the future.
Students who succeed in this program will possess relevant employability skills and be able to create jobs via innovative solutions or as entrepreneurs.
I want to encourage our students. I know our students well. They are young people with great mind, with great innovation, with great sense of mission. I just want to encourage them. This is an opportunity you must not miss. Please seize it with all your heart and make sure we impact the world the way we can.
For inquiries, call +234 7066 504779 or visit www.U-COHUB.org. U-COHUB, raising a community of problem solvers.
Each of the partnerships is made up of a UK and Sub-Saharan African university, which is also teamed up with organizations which have the entrepreneurial and innovation skills to build businesses.
All of which ultimately produces a skilled, experienced, and internationally aware workforce.